When you think about honeybees, you probably picture a warm summer day, right? All that buzzing around the flowers. But have you ever really stopped to think about what happens when winter hits? When all those flowers are gone and the world is literally frozen solid? Well, it turns out the secret to their survival is, well, it's just incredible. It's this hidden story, a tale of two completely different kinds of bees living inside the very same colony. And this strange duality is how they solve one of nature's absolute toughest puzzles.
I mean, this is the real mystery, isn't it? Just try to wrap your head around it. A bustling city, 50,000 strong, completely locked down for months and months. There's no food coming in, no new supplies, and it's freezing cold outside. How on earth does a society like that not just completely collapse into nothing? Well, the honeybee colony has figured it out, and honestly, it is nothing short of an evolutionary masterpiece.
Okay, so first things first, let's meet the bee we all think we know. The one we see in our gardens, the summer bee. Yeah, she's basically the poster child for hard work, isn't she? That constant, frantic buzz you associate with a hot afternoon. But here's the thing about her. Her life is incredibly specific, and wow, is it short. It's just an all-out sprint from beginning to end.
This bee is the absolute definition of a workhorse. Her entire existence, and get this, it's only 4 to 6 weeks long, is just a complete and utter blur of nonstop action. One minute she's a nursemaid for the babies, the next she's on cleaning duty, then she's a guard at the front door, and of course, there's the main event, that relentless day in, day out foraging for nectar and pollen. Her body is basically a high-performance engine built for one thing and one thing only, an incredible burst of short-term productivity.
So a good way to think about it is that the summer bee is designed for a world that's just overflowing with opportunity. The sun's out, the flowers are blooming everywhere. Her entire purpose is to take all that amazing abundance and turn it into colony growth as fast as beely possible. Build more comb, raise more sisters, stockpile that honey. It really is a frantic life or death race against the clock. But here's the catch. That high-energy, live fast, die young lifestyle, it's a complete death sentence in the winter. It just doesn't work. So as the days start getting shorter and that chill hits the air, the colony does something amazing. It deploys its secret weapon. It starts raising a totally, completely different kind of bee. Yeah, scientists have a pretty fancy name for her, a Diolenus bee. It's just a Latin word that basically means long-lived. And honestly, that says it all. Because, and this is so important to understand, this is not just a summer bee who decided to stay inside for the winter. No way. She is a fundamentally, biologically different creature, literally born and bred for one single mission, to endure. The winter bee, she's a guardian. Her life has nothing to do with that frantic summer work. It's all about conservation and survival. And get this, she lives for 4 to 6 months, not weeks, months. Her main jobs are to huddle together in this tight ball, this cluster, around the queen, and just vibrate. They vibrate their wing muscles to generate heat and keep the whole hive, and especially their queen, from freezing. And then, her final, most crucial duty, after surviving that whole brutal winter, is to use the very last of her strength to raise the first new brood of spring bees. And only then, her job done, does she die. So if you boil it all down, this is the core idea. You've got the summer workhorse, who just burns through energy like crazy to build the colony bigger and stronger. And then you have the winter guardian, who carefully, meticulously saves every little bit of energy just to keep that same colony alive. There are two totally different strategies, two completely different types of bee, all working for the survival of this one incredible superorganism. Okay, so the big question is, how is this even possible? I mean, how can you get two bees that are so radically different, but they come from the very same mother, the same queen, and grew up in the exact same hive? The answer is just, it's a breathtaking look at how biology can be tweaked and fine-tuned for the ultimate goal, survival. Let's really let this sink in. 4 to 6 weeks. That's it. That is the entire lifespan of a summer bee. It is a mad dash, an absolutely frantic sprint. Just this intense, fiery life that's literally designed to burn out fast for the good of the colony. And then you have her sister, the winter bee, 4 to 6 months. Just think about that for a second. That is a lifespan that is nearly 8 times longer. It's just a staggering, almost unbelievable difference for two creatures that share the exact same fundamental DNA.
So
This just has to make you ask, right? What is happening on the inside? What is going on with their biology that allows for such a huge, dramatic difference? Well, it's not some kind of magic. It's actually a whole cascade of incredible physiological shifts. Okay, so this table really gives us the blueprint for their survival. Let's walk through it. Look at the huge differences. The winter bees, they have these massive fat bodies. That's literally what they're called. And they're basically just big, juicy energy reserves. Their hormone levels are completely different, which totally changes how they act. And this is the big one, they are just loaded with a very special protein that is the real secret to their amazing long life. Right, this is the superstar of the whole show, vitellogenin. In your average summer bee, the levels are pretty low, but in a winter bee, the levels are off the charts. It's like a biological Swiss Army knife. It acts as a food storage pack. It's a super powerful antioxidant that literally slows down the aging process in their cells, and it gives their immune system a massive boost. This single protein is pretty much the fountain of youth that gives the winter bee her marathon lifespan. And this chart, it shows us the on-off switch for their behavior. It's all about something called juvenile hormone, or JH for short. You can think of it as the get-to-work hormone. In summer bees, the levels are super high, and that's the signal that screams, go, forage, work. But in the winter bees, those JH levels are way, way down. They're suppressed. And that's what keeps them calm, helps them save energy, and makes them focus on their job as guardians inside the hive. So you might be wondering, how does the hive actually decide which bee to make? It's like they have two different recipes, and it all comes down to the food. Summer bee larvae get a pretty standard diet, and as adults, they're all about high-carb nectar to fuel their flying. But the larvae that are chosen to become winter bees, oh, they are fed a special diet, one that's way richer in pollen and protein. And that specific diet is the trigger. It's the signal that tells their little bodies, okay, time to start building up those giant fat reserves and pump out all of that amazing, life-extending vitellogenin. And it gets even crazier. The differences are so deep, they go all the way down to the bacteria living in their gut. I mean, can you believe that? Scientists have found that summer and winter bees actually have completely different gut microbiomes. Each set of bacteria is perfectly specialized to help them process their unique food and handle the specific challenges of their season. It's just mind-blowing. All right, let's zoom back out for a second and connect all this back to the big picture. All these little microscopic details we've been talking about, the fat, the special proteins, the hormones, this isn't just fun science trivia. No, this is the absolute bedrock. It's the foundation that the survival of the entire colony is built on. When you really think about it, the winter bee is everything. She is the living, breathing bridge. This one small generation of guardians literally carries the entire future of their colony. The queen, the genetics, all of it, on their backs across this huge, empty, frozen desert we call winter. And their only job is to deliver that precious cargo safely to the other side, to the shores of spring. And that right there, that really sums it all up, doesn't it? The two types of bees absolutely need each other. They're completely codependent. All that insane, frantic work the summer bees do is completely pointless if the colony just dies off in the winter. And on the flip side, the winter guardian's entire existence is dedicated to one single purpose: making sure there's a home for the next generation of summer workhorses to be born into. Okay, so let's quickly recap the main things to remember from all this. First off, a honeybee hive isn't just one type of bee, it's really a story of two different bees, the summer workhorse and the winter guardian. Next, remember that one is built for sprinting, the other for a marathon. They are absolute specialists. Third, the way they pull this off is with a whole biological toolkit: bigger fat stores, special proteins, and different hormone levels. And finally, putting it all together, this amazing two-bee system is what you could call an evolutionary masterpiece. It's the secret that lets this one colony conquer all 4 seasons. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? From the outside, a beehive just seems like a buzzing box of bees. But when you look closer, there's this whole hidden world of incredible specialization and adaptation going on. It really leaves you with a final thought to chew on. What other hidden superheroes are out there? What other creatures with their own secret biologies are quietly working all around us, doing jobs that are absolutely essential to the world we live in?